Well, hello, everybody.
Well, hello, everyone. Hello, Pastor Ben.
Hi, I was thinking we were having a special moment in the studio before everything got going here.
It was a special moment.
Because we had both Eric and Cole and Ashton. I thought we were going to have this full complement. And as soon as the clock hit 0, Eric exited the building. He just he stormed out.
Yeah, we're all sad about it.
I am.
Yeah.
I know you folks at home, you never get to see what's going on behind the scenes, but we got people behind you, in front of us, but behind you.
Yes.
You
have the primary viewing area.
Yeah.
And then behind that, we have our technology viewing area.
Yeah, and so he's kind of sad. Eric just stormed out right as things got going. So
It's best to take some time to cool off.
I'm gonna
for
have
every
to.
one of us. Like when you need that break, you can step out, cool off a little bit, and then you can come on back.
Get up and go, right?
Get up and go.
So that threw me. I thought we were cruising into a great broadcast here, and somebody storms out.
It can throw you.
Takes it personally, right here. Hurts. Just hurts.
Yeah.
So we'll have a little meeting with Eric after this.
Good luck with that.
Good luck. He's probably already on the other side of town by now, right? Anyways, I decided to wear a sweater today.
Yeah. Now, is it still pretty to
not.
warm up?
It's above the threshold, but I thought this was Christmas present of 2023.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm going to wear it today. So I broke it out.
Yeah.
But it is above my normal sweater threshold. But I figured, what the heck? I'll wear a sweater today.
Yes. My kids went to school, just T-shirts and no jackets.
That's right. You're raising them right. I'm serious about it. You're raising them right. Like this whole, I got to wear a down jacket when it's 65 is ludicrous.
So
that's good. Throw them in a T-shirt.
The bigger problem is that you send them in a sweatshirt in the morning, they do not come home with that sweatshirt. Yeah. And after losing a few of them,
lesson learned.
You know it's going to be warm today.
Eventually.
And they're outside playing in the morning with just a T-shirt.
45 degrees, that's T-shirt weather.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can handle a T-shirt, and they're happy to.
It's all about perspective.
Yeah.
If it was 45 somewhere in the upper Midwest right now, people would be in T-shirts.
Absolutely.
Seriously, I'm not making a joke. That's a warm-up, right?
That's a warm-up.
So I like that. It's like, you lose enough sweatshirts, you go to school with nothing.
Yeah. They can always find their sweatshirt at the Lost and Found.
Yeah, it's
there. It's already
really
there if they want it.
Go in. So I like that tough love. That's good. That's good. Get out of the house. What about a coat, Mommy? No.
No jacket for you.
No jacket. No, that's like Minnesota Kid, right? I like that. I knew a guy in seminary. He was a classmate of mine, and he wore shorts every day of the year.
Yep. I've seen that before, too.
And he'd wear a winter coat, but he'd still have shorts on.
Yeah, I've seen, some people through the middle of the winter. I mean, shorts and sandals.
Yeah.
I don't know if he had to moisturize his heels at all.
Oh, I'm sure he broke out the aloe.
Because I wonder what kind of aloe he used on those
industrial strength
on his heels. Because in the winter, that can be rough on your skin.
I think so. That's
right. Walking advertisement there, I would imagine.
I know, but I'm not that guy. But I certainly, I think the last time I had a heavy coat on here in the valley was the early mornings in January and February when we were doing outdoor worship. And you were outside for a prolonged amount of time.
Yeah.
That's the last time I think I had an overcoat on.
Some of those got breezy.
Yeah, early on because we were outside. But walking from car to inside, I tend to at most have a windbreaker on. So, but I'll tell you, when I lived in Marin County, which is one of the most affluent counties in the country, right?
Okay.
When we lived in the national park, right there at the Marin Headlands, I'm just going to tell you the ludicrousness of some of the people, and I'm not even going to get into specifics of some of these people with obscene amounts of money.
Okay.
Yeah, the minute it hit like 68 to 65 degrees, all the puffy down jackets came out, and I'm looking at them because I'm in a, I'm wearing a T-shirt still, and like, What? Like, you need to wear your brand name REI or whatever, Patagonia, because you need to look a
like
certain
it's 65
look.
degrees out.
And it's 65 degrees. You do not need a down jacket. That's over the top. So I do feel better, though. Eric did come back.
He did.
I feel more relaxed now. Yeah, the whole opening bit was about you storming out as soon as I was about to talk. So it was very upsetting, Eric. So I'm just glad he's back. I feel more at ease, more relaxed. Thank you, Eric. He says he's here for me, everybody. So but he said it without passion or feeling. Yes. So it felt like a slap. So
he's sitting in the leaning chair of the downstairs
the leaning
studio.
chair of Pisa over there. We have a broken chair that looks a lot like the chair Brian's sitting in, except 2 of the legs are missing. So it's like this. And so I keep waiting for it to end up in the dumpster because that's where it needs to go. But yeah, Eric's waiting for the other 2 legs to go, and then it'll be a floor chair, I guess. So, but yeah, this weekend we started looking at foundations in worship, and we're going to spend the next month looking at not only Christ, the foundation, but what do we build on that foundation. And sometimes I guess for me, every so often you want to go back to the basics, go back to kind of the core, and really look at it from one point of view. And for this point of view is through the Sermon on the Mount.
It's a good foundation.
Yeah, and this weekend we heard a song that really kind of points us onto that foundation, or what it takes to remain on a foundation, because at times our hearts can wander, and at times we can even kind of be on a foundation, but then we're off running away from that too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And at least in a metaphorical sense. And so it's really good to be not only on the foundation, but anchored to it or settled to it, so that whatever comes, you're just ready for it. Or even if you're not ready for it, someone who's going to be there to comfort you in the midst of that too. And so yeah, I'm not ready to go to the song yet, though.
Not yet?
I'm not there yet.
All right.
You okay with that?
I'll get over it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to sit in silence for a little bit.
Is that what you want to do?
I do not.
I might step outside.
I do that. Yeah.
For a
now
moment.
He's going to. I've upset him now. No, I was going to tell you, kind of backtracking a little bit today. Believe it or not, we were in a meeting today where we mapped out a year's worth of activities.
We did.
Within the life of the church. And we do it for a couple of reasons. One is to see the ebb and flow of our church calendar.
Right.
And secondly, we want to make sure that we don't have things doubly booked or on top of each other.
No, it takes a lot. So
not that you can't have 2 events going on at the same time, but you don't want 2 big events on top of each other.
No, it does.
Right?
It's been important to kind of look through and talk it out. And so been looking through we just finished Christmas of 2026.
Yes, we did. We got all the way to the end of this year already. I know it's January, but we actually took some time today, got everybody around the table, and we talked about some things. And we even moved some things around to give some breathing space. And we have a lot of great stuff ahead this year. And a lot of great stuff in which anybody can participate in and be a part of, and essentially do life together this year. So I'm excited by the fact that we kind of looked at all the different things that could be a lot of fun and very meaningful for the church family this year.
Yeah.
And so that was a lot of good, including the fact that we are about 5 weeks out, 6 weeks out from Chili Cook-Off.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are right there.
So a few years ago, we were doing it in December, and it's just too much stuff going on in December.
Yeah.
And so we moved it forward, or back, however you want to look at it, into the quieter time of January, February. And we've done some in January, we've done some in February, and we have great turnout. So we are just around the corner from starting to talk about Chili Cook-Off. And I told you, my good friend who went to heaven, Bob Gillespie, I received his chili pepper suspenders.
Yep, you did mention that.
Yeah. Do you know, I also got another great gift this year. I received, and I love this because it looks like something else. I have what you would call like a dish towel that has some chili peppers on it that somebody gave me. I love this.
Okay, yes.
And part of the reason I love it is it's one that you can kind of hang around your neck so you don't have to go look for a towel, like it's just hanging there.
Oh, okay.
But it's long enough that it also looks like a stole. You know, the things that we wear at traditional worship? Yeah, the stole. It looks like a chili pepper stole. So I doubly like it because it looks like a something you'd wear at 8 a.m. Worship too. So I love my chili pepper washcloths, which also looks like a stole.
Yeah.
So
Are you gonna wear that at 8 o'clock on chili cook-off?
I might have to, right?
Sunday?
I might have to break it out. But I'm all set with all the accoutrements for chili cook-off. Now I just have to come up with chili.
Very good.
So we're getting there. I'm excited.
Love that.
I ate chili last year. I didn't enter any chili. I'll have to see if this year's the year I bring back the famed recipe in the cookbook, second place chili.
Second place chili.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about time to bring it back.
Yep. So if you want to know what chili I bring, you can go to the cookbook and see that. However, I do have another good basic chili recipe that's called Amarillo chili.
Oh, yeah?
There's nothing fancy in it, but it's a good, solid chili recipe. And part of it, what makes it good is you don't use any prefab seasoning. You start with chili pepper, like chili peppers ground up and all of that. So maybe I'll break out Amarillo chili. I don't know.
That sounds great too.
Yeah. So we'll see. But anyways, now I'm ready for the song.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna go back and
Feeling
listen to Dana Martin sing a wonderful song about being single-minded in our faith, and the song is called "One Desire." Let's take a listen.
If I could have one desire before my life is through, even in my darkest night, my life would shine for you. If I could stop the hands of time or make a wish come true, I would tell my heart to burn with fire for no one else but you. This is my one desire. You are my saving grace, anchor of my soul. In a world that turned upside down, I want you to know. If I could have one desire before my life is through, even in my darkest night, my life would shine for you. If I could stop the hands of time or make a wish come true, I would tell my heart to burn with fire for no one else but you. This is my one desire. You are my faithful friend, the one that I lean on. You always understand. With all that I am, I'll give you the deepest devotion I know. I could have one desire before my life is through, even in my darkest night, my life would shine for you. If I could stop the hands of time or make a wish come true, I would tell my heart to burn with fire for no one else but you. This is my one desire. This is my one desire.
Just a wonderful song.
It really is. It's not a song that I was super familiar with, but you found this one.
Yeah, back actually when it was released, written by obviously a songwriter, but also worship leader. His name is Lenny LeBlanc, and he had the most famous song that he wrote was "Above All."
Yes,
Above all
well-known
powers,
one that we
above
do
all-
here
yeah.
as well as many
Crucified,
places.
laid behind a stone. You know, that we've done that often around Holy Week. It's a great song, and that one was made, I guess, really famous in Michael W. Smith's worship album from back in early 2000.
Sure.
But it became kind of a staple in Christian music. But Lenny LeBlanc wrote that, and he wrote this one, and you know he has a beautiful voice too. I know Dana was singing, and Dana sings it beautifully too. But Lenny LeBlanc has just this wonderful voice. So when he sings his own music, you really like, oh wow, like this guy's really, really good. And what I like about this song specifically is it really tackles that whole being single-minded. And if we're going to build our life on something, part of the journey is being dedicated to that foundation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, we look at faith and we understand faith is a gift, right? I mean, it is given, and we can't understand it. And, you know, why is it that gift given to some and received and others reject that gift or don't see it? You know, I can't explain that. I mean, even Jesus says, you know, the Spirit's like the wind. You know, it comes and it goes where it pleases. So it's not a question I can answer of like, why do some have that gift and others don't? But I certainly know if you've received it because of life experience that you have to dedicate yourself to that gift, to faith. You have to dedicate yourself to that foundation to carry you through the long haul of life. And I'm not saying this is about being perfect or somehow, you know, if you mess up, then that's the end of it. But certainly having a mind focused towards, I want to remain, you know, within the foundation that Christ has laid for me.
Yeah.
You know, within the parameters. And we're not always going to get it right, but to say, I want to be on that solid ground more often that I'm on sand, right? And I think that's the struggle with faith, is to remain true to what you believe, true to who you trust in, remain true to yourself in terms of living within that. And that's, you know, and that's the journey of faith for us. And once again, we don't get it always right, but I'd rather be on the foundation more than I am off the foundation.
That's it, right?
And
that's our rock.
Yeah.
That's where we're going to find our strength.
And it doesn't happen just because you want it to happen. Sometimes you are challenged, you know, and you have to make decisions. And sometimes that decision is to say no to some things and yes to other things, and yes to other things and no to other things, to
Absolutely.
say, you know, what is that thing that keeps me on the foundation? And if you always let, you know, your heart rule over your mind, you will be chasing over dumb stuff. And sometimes that you need to let your mind speak a little bit, and sometimes you need to let your heart speak a little bit. But it's not just one or the other. Jesus talked about, you know, that he was looking for worshipers who will worship the Father in spirit and truth, you know, heart and mind. And I think it takes both to stay grounded and to be on that foundation. And when you let one or the other kind of always lead, it sometimes will take you into bad places.
Yeah.
And so that's just kind of my take on that. And I wanted to pull out a couple of things that Jesus said and one thing that his half-brother said. How about that? We're going to keep it all in the family today.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, all in the Jesus family. So Jesus said, the kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hidden in a field. When a person found it, he hid it again, and then in his joy sold all that he had and just bought that field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant looking for fine pearls, and when he found one of great value, he went and sold everything he had, and he bought it. So Jesus is clearly talking about two things. One, single-mindedness.
Yeah. You clearly know what matters most, and you are following that path.
That's right.
This is it. This is where I got to be.
This is where I got to be. And both of these stories, I mean parables, but they're like two sentences, are about somebody who had some things, and he found the one thing. And he was willing to let go of all the other things for the one thing.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
And I think in some ways in life, and you know, I suppose wisdom does play a part. In the older you get, the more you can calm your jets long enough to think through, you know, what is that one thing of great value.
Yeah.
You know, and I think about, you know, we've had just quite a few losses in our church family over the past few months. I mean, a lot recently, but it has been quite a few. And as I think about that, I think to myself, man, I want to be ready to go when the time comes. And I just mean that in more of a kind of a reflective sense. I mean, I don't know, you know, none of us really know the day or time when we get called home. But I just think to myself, I want to be ready for that when it comes, and be able to say, okay, it's time to go home. And not from a place where, I mean, I think about it from the family point of view, like, oh, you know, oh, my loved one has passed. Now I have to find a place to have services. You know what I'm saying? I want to be grounded in a church home. I want to be like so familiar that it was like, of course, that's where the services would be.
That's your family.
You know, this is my family, and this is where we're gonna say goodbye, you know, in a service, in that place and in that time. And it only feels right and natural that it would happen like that. And always want to stay not only on the foundation, but, you know, I mean, even St. Paul talks about the fact that in another metaphor that the church is not the building, but the people, you know, like we're so connected. And then that other metaphor, which fits into foundation, is that Jesus is the cornerstone on the building.
Yes.
And that we're all connected through that cornerstone that gives it strength, right? And I just want to live a life in such a way that it just feels natural that I'm connected somewhere, you know, here, and a part of the church family, so that when it's time to go, I already got my, you know, I got all that set up. I don't mean funeral planning, but just like that's just the way it is.
Yeah. Rooted into that foundation.
Rooted into that foundation, and then going home, you know.
Yeah.
And so I guess in some ways that, you know, you want to sell all you have so that you have the one thing of great value, whether it's the pearl or the field that had the treasure in it. Just like, I found the treasure, I don't want to let it go. Right?
No. And And that's the scripture story, is that you can find this. Open your heart. This is what's there. You can have all of this. This is that treasure right in front of you. Don't get distracted by the small stuff.
By the small stuff, right? Yeah. That connection, that kindness, that community, all centered around the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus. Like, that's the stuff that matters. And the more you connect into that, the more at home you will be on that foundation.
Yes.
It breaks my heart when I see people just wandering in their life, just have nothing tethering them down. And and this world does throw some pretty hard stuff at us, and so then you do wind up like that, and it can happen to anybody. Yeah,
and it's nice to have a connection.
And also, as it turns out, also not being in the wilderness allows you to have perspective. When you're lost, you lose all sorts of perspective. And you chase after things that are illusion. And I see so many people in the world who are living in the wilderness and they don't even know it. And they're just chasing after stupid stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that judgmentally. It's like in a real sad way. I knew that it's kind of like this. Every so often, like if you're flying or you're somewhere, because we don't have anything like that in the house, like you might run across like a magazine, or in the grocery store when you're like checking out and there's like magazine rack.
Okay.
And like I've looked at magazine racks as I'm waiting to check out, and it's like they're all like people and us and all, like those. I'm like, I don't recognize anybody on those magazines. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm like, I think I've come to the place in my life where I'm like, I'm not chasing after, who's the, hottest,
I think that's okay.
Man of the year or woman of the year, or what, all that, and like this power couple. Oh my God, who are these people? I have no idea. Or a TV show that's like a variety show and like or an award show, and I'm like, half the people winning stuff, I have no idea who these people are. Mm-hmm. And I'm not begrudging them, but I'm just thinking to myself, like, I guess I'm somewhat in a bubble anymore because I'm trying to stay so close on the foundation that some of this pop culture stuff is just lost on me anymore, right?
Right.
Like I could be on the strip, and not that I am very often, but I probably could run by a celebrity and never even know it. You know what I'm saying?
Probably have.
Yeah, probably have.
Probably
right? That's find the
way
one
it
thing
is.
of value and just hold on to that. Right?
Why not just?
And
do
like
that?
I said, I'm
Just
not
do
judging
that.
anybody. It's just kind of like I see it and I go, man, there's a lot of people chasing after that stuff, and I feel bad because I think sometimes it leads to emptiness, because they never quite make it. Now, the half-brother of Jesus also talks about this one desire piece, and a word shows up in this verse that only shows up 3 times in the whole Bible.
Is that right?
Twice James says it, and once in the Psalms. No, in Proverbs, excuse me.
Really?
So 3 times. But you'll know the word when you hear it.
All right. So from James chapter 4, starting at verse 7. Submit yourselves then to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Come near to God, and he will come near to you. Wash your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded.
I guess it's a compound word.
Compound word.
Yeah.
Humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will lift you up.
So that double-minded, one desire versus double-minded.
Yeah.
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 And he uses it again, not in a necessarily positive way, but even in the Proverbs, Solomon says, I hate double-minded people.
Yes.
But I love, and he's talking to God, but I love your law, and I love your word, and what he's saying is, you hate the lifestyle of it's this and this and this and that, and in some ways it ties back to that part I was talking about when Jesus is around the campfire, and he says, who do you say that I am?
It's such a pivotal moment right there.
Yeah. And it's a single-minded answer. wow, Jesus, you're just one of many rabbis, and today I'm with you, and tomorrow I might be with, Gamaliel, or I might be with,
Yeah.
you are the Christ, you are the Son of the living God. It's very single-minded, very direct. In the same way when Jesus called out the disciples for being offended at Jesus' words and people were leaving, and Jesus said, "You guys want to leave too?" And the response is, "Lord, to whom shall we go? You have the words of eternal life." It's very single-minded. And
See it clearly right there.
Right, see very clearly. And I like that, seeing clearly, because sometimes you can have a one desire or single-mindedness, but in the same vein be closed-minded and judgmental. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just only follow Jesus, and that's the devil, and that's
It's tricky, isn't it?
and so you can take that so far in an extreme that you actually are outside of the grace of God because you're using it as like a cudgel to hit people with, like, I'm faithful, but you're evil, and that's what you do. Is like, if you're doing that, well, that's not single-minded. That's just being closed-minded.
Mm-hmm.
And part of this understanding of being having one desire is to accept the love that you've been given from above, and then be able to continue to show that love not just to people who are in your camp, but to everyone.
Yeah.
And if not, at least be cordial, for goodness sakes, right? There's too much of this us versus them thinking in this world. There's way too much my team or your team, or my side and your side, and you see it even played out in what we experienced up in Minnesota. It's just whose side are you on? And if you're on the wrong side, not my side, then you no longer contain the image of God, and therefore you are expendable. Literally expendable.
Yeah, that hurts to see.
Yeah.
Neglecting the humanity.
Neglecting the humanity
in other people.
And so to be on the foundation is to see value in others, and even people you don't agree with, and you don't have to agree with 100% of everything, and
we won't.
And right.
But we can still find a way
to see humanity in somebody.
Yeah.
And that doesn't excuse bad behavior, by the way, but you still try to look for the humanity within somebody.
Yeah.
And if they choose not to be a part of that, then that's their choice. But don't follow down that same avenue of bitterness of people who are my side or your side. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
And you know who lives that out really well?
Who's that?
Our good friend Tony.
Tony
Tony
does.
is able to love on people regardless.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he does.
I admire that about him.
Yeah, Tony is great.
He's like, I'm just going to put all that other stuff behind. I'm just going to love on people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's made that decision, and he's on that foundation, and I admire that in him, because sometimes people get on my nerves. I'll be honest with you. People get, and then I have to work at like not letting them be on my nerves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I try to do it this way. I'll be honest. I'm just going to be really transparent. Is somebody may never know that they get on my nerves because I won't.
You're not going to go raging after them in the middle of a sermon.
Correct.
Okay. Good.
But I've thought about it. But it's crossed my mind. Right. But he's just able to like get along with everybody and be warm and fuzzy, and so I do admire that in Tony.
I can see that,
his kindness
for sure.
And he's told me, because I've asked him about it, and he's like, I just got to let all that other stuff go and not let it eat me up inside, because when it eats me up inside, then I want to return like for like.
That's just it.
Yeah.
Right there. That is just
and so
it.
I do admire that,
Mm-hmm.
and my gosh, I hope he's not listening.
I'm sure he is.
Oh my gosh, going to.
It's a Tuesday at 3.
Yeah, it's all going to go to his head.
Yeah.
So no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But I do admire that in him a lot. But let's finish with some more words of Jesus. So we have Jesus, James, back to Jesus. Jesus says this, Matthew chapter 6. So part of the Sermon on the Mount, he says, do not store up for yourself treasures on earth where moth and rust destroy and where thieves break in and steal. In other words, stuff on this earth is temporary, and that's all metaphor for it doesn't last forever, right? But store for yourself treasures in heaven where moth and rust do not destroy and thieves do not break in and steal. But here's the heart of this. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also.
Another great verse.
So being single-minded is like knowing what the most valuable thing is, too. And I do like that. It's like, oh, I have to make choice, or I have to assign value to stuff. And the stuff that has less value, temporary things that will pass away, maybe I need not to put so much energy and time into that, because one day it will mean nothing. And where my heart is, that's where my treasure is. And so I guess I want my heart to be in heaven more than I do want it tied to things down here. I don't, like I said, I don't want to get into heaven by the skin of my teeth. With the smoke coming off the back of my clothes. Yeah, I just want to be all set to go when the time comes, and being in that, just be like, oh, this is where my heart has been, and this is where my heart will be, right?
But I will say that is a great Bible verse,
isn't it?
Yeah, you're gonna make it to heaven.
Yeah,
of course you are.
Of course, that's the grace.
But
choose your entrance, right? Choose your entrance wisely,
Bible verse.
Right? Do you wanna get in, coasting in on fumes? Or do you want to walk in and go, hey, look, I'm not on fire? I love that. And I think it was back when I was in seminary, and I wasn't taking a class, but I was going through 1 Corinthians on my own, and I saw that, and I've told you the Bible that I use is the same Bible I had way back then. And ended up being like, oh, this is the one Bible I'm going to need for my whole career, and it's highlighted in there, it's because I'm like, oh, I'll be using this over and over again in my pastoral career, and so every so often it comes back up, and So I just want to build the right stuff on the right foundation. That's it.
That's it.
So, anyways, thanks for joining us today. We hope you have a good rest of your day, whatever you're going to be about. But I hope you find peace and serenity, and that comfort knowing that you are on the foundation, which is the love of Jesus. So anyways, thanks for joining us. God bless you. We'll see you on Thursday. Take care. And Philip, will you play us out?